She has a lot of
Like
passion.
two fighters.
Yes.
They're fighting they're putting all their energy into it, their endurance, and then one ultimately can't deal with it anymore. He just has to basically stop, beg for mercy.
Give up.
So it's like saying mercy, but you tap out.
Okay.
And it's like
What is
when
that?
you're desperate.
Roberto Duran sign language.
That's home.
What kind of fighting?
Oh, this is MMA, mixed martial arts. It could be like Muay
I
Thai
don't know that. I
combination with
met somebody,
BJJ.
one of the waiters at our
Nation was
restaurant.
grappling.
Oh, mixed martial arts is huge and growing.
It used to be so underground when I used to follow it in 1995.
The guy with all the tattoos does that.
Well, would you believe those hard people that can get in a ring? Or, Kim, the lady at Carolina Manufacturing, she contacted some folks who she had never heard of Tap Out, but they were into this, and they were emotionally touched that someone noticed their pictures, and they gladly offered them. So there are Tap Out. Are they athletes? I don't know. Competitors.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Well, yeah, they would be athletes, but they're Tap Out people in her catalog, and somebody actually made a bikini out of these too. She did not share that.
I'd like
picture
to see
with us.
that. Yeah, it's okay.
No, kind of similar to that. I went to I was talking to some people that do like web films.
Yeah.
They were talking about like using social media to raise money. This one short that they actually showed last night, they would read some of the like the comments from their YouTube videos, from the tweets at the end of the video itself, and then they found out that once somebody said that, oh well, he read my comment on that short, they would spread it to other people. So in terms of acknowledging what people had said about their short movies, and then actually making it part of the video, the consumers of the video got excited about it and told a lot more people. That they're listening to my phone message, they read my comment. So it's kind of the same thing.
So I have a theory about why social media is so explosively popular right now, and I think it ties into three very basic human drives that have been existent probably throughout all of humanity, and that is it's three parts. Number one is we all want to be heard, and number two, we all want to be understood, and number three, we all want to know that our life counts. And so when companies and politicians and organizations will demonstrate that they're listening and seeking to understand, and then proactively facilitating their neighbor's quest for significance, then I think that they will win. And I think that some of the measures, like how much money are we going to make off of this, will become secondary to what kind of change are we creating in the world.
Are you, when you report back to your clients and you've spoken to them about ROI and your version of ROI, are you doing like some of these agencies are doing, where you have the blog where it was mentioned and how many subscribers to the blog and
Now, are you
tweets
talking
and
about
how many
what
followers?
Simplicio
That
does, or what I've done with my marketing
No, before you
agency?
met Simplicio, what was the way that you were measuring for them and helping to convince them that they were justified in hiring you?
Just number of followers on Twitter.
Even though
You have
that's-
like
that's-
80
No,
something.
I'm being facetious.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
No, I want a real answer.
So,
Because that's what I'm struggling with. And, I work with Marshall, with Fabiana, and there's so many numbers out there. Which ones are you using that have been helpful?
Which one has
to
been
you?
actionable?
well, one
Okay.
That is
One-
convincing.
one for retailers is setting up events and tracking attendance and purchases after the event. So with retailers
that's what
where
it is.
we're able to drive traffic to a store, I mean where real bodies come in, and they've had similar events before. See, the challenge is there's not a baseline for people to. I mean, companies, they're clamoring about ROI, but yet you would expect to find this data warehouse that you could pull from and compare, and you're starting from scratch because they haven't been doing ROI on what.
So how do you compare it?
Yeah. So then you tell them we need to establish a baseline, and in our quarter mentality financial system, nobody wants to pay to establish a baseline. I just want to pay to know if I'm making money.
Well, I've kind of feeling I'm seeing that a lot in various aspects of the worlds that I work in, and I find many of the larger companies still aren't willing to make an investment. a strategic investment in the process, or at least the way they think of the investment's different than they may be more interested in investing in superstars to drive business, but they're not actually as invested in the process.
See, and there's some things I know you're getting frustrated that I don't give you good answers.
No, you give us great answers.
There are things that you can measure, like dimensions, and you can do some sentiment analysis. Some of it can be automated and some by human beings. Yeah.
For a project, we strong-armed the client into paying money that they really thought we would look crazy, but we told them it's really valuable, and had a really horrible experience as a result of this. We paid for 3 different sentiment analyses. Right? 3 different.
They all disagree. Yeah.
And I warned the client that we were in shaky territory. I said, because they wanted me to prove that what we're doing has value.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I said, listen, there are no viable metrics. And I said, hope nobody gets upset with language, I said, all metrics are bullshit. And I'm a guy who's worked for years in hard numbers. And I'm known for being able to crunch numbers and make quantitative speak qualitative. That's my selling point. And I said to them, all measurements are bullshit. He said, well, I need to see measurement. I said, well, we can't go with any one, because it's all very nascent, very new, you know. It's all like it's not even the first trimester. It just got conceived yesterday. I said, but so we bought from 3 different supposedly reputable companies. Names?
Jump.
No names. No names.
Okay.
Ask him later.
And one of them I felt presented the information very well, the worthless information. Another one sent us really crunched data that, because I'm accustomed to, I knew how to make it look good. It was actually the best of the 3, but they had no idea how to present it. And the third one sent us a really sweet report that told us less than we'd asked. I mean, they had nothing to say. Fact is, none of them had anything in common. Now, I've dealt with lots of analysis and lots of data collection, and I vetted these guys out, all 3, for how did they collect the data, and what were their process. There was no viable information. However, I was able to show the client the difference in how it was taken, how it was, and the different places it occurred. I said, we have extended reach. We have reach you wouldn't have had before, and we now have a way of looking at this reach and learning from it. And because I did focus, I mean, talk about focus groups.